And I think
I'm sorry about the recording. Go ahead.
we don't have to introduce the speaker anymore. We're just delighted to have her here. She is bringing a vision and a version of understanding to our discussions that are just incomparable. And so with that, I bring you the author of The Habits of Unity. The Habits of Unity, 12 Months to a Stronger American, one citizen at a time. Oh, that says a lot right there. Miss Elaine Parks. Thank you, Miss Elaine Parks. I appreciate you. You have the floor.
Thank you, Elton. I'm just really honored to be here. I can already tell there's a great spirit among the group at Brightside Global, and I'm very honored to be a part of it. Yes,
We're glad to have you.
we're also, we're also upset. The country is so divided, and we read the paper every day and we hear about more and more of it. And yes, it's getting worse and worse. And yet we feel like helpless bystanders, as though it's going to be solved by somebody else out there. But we're United States citizens. And in a democracy, we have to act like responsible citizens. Yes, we have a right to our individual rights, but we also have to have individual responsibilities. President Kennedy once said, and I think the whole country knows this quote by him, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And my book is an answer to that question, what you can do for your country. And it's so simple. All you have to do is uplift the attitudes and behaviors of your own life. I mean, how simple is that? You don't need to sit back and be an innocent bystander. You're not innocent. If you're not leading a life of kindness, of caring for others, of respect for others, of giving dignity to others, of patience, of doing your best in your own life, then you can do more to bring unity to this country in your own life. And if every citizen is doing that, then we're going to have a better country. It's the only way to unity. It has to ask each of us what we can do for our country. Now is the time. If we don't ask ourselves and we don't start uplifting ourselves, then we know the direction the country's going. So kind of having said that, I'll tell you a little bit about me. I had a very rough childhood, let's say. And I sort of grew up desperately wanting to be treated better myself. But as that grew on, I realized that I also wanted other children in America to be treated better. And I hoped and dreamed that I'd come up with a plan so that there would be less abuse and more caring and love among the people and the citizens of the country. Well, fortunately, I was introduced to volunteering when I was 11, and I learned that volunteering is the best way to uplift yourself, because when you're helping someone else, all of a sudden you're feeling appreciated and your self-esteem is built. And I knew that that was really the path to a better life for me. When I was a freshman at Northwestern University in Chicago, I started working with cobras, racketeers, and gang kids in the north side of Chicago. And I realized then that one of the issues we have is that there are so many problems, but there are never enough people addressing the problems. So the trick is to turn all of us into not necessarily the formal version of what you feel when you say volunteer, but in being a volunteer for a better country by just waking up in the morning with an intention to lead a better life. So that was like in the 60s. And it took a number of years for me to get the vision that I had some years later, after having spent 20 years in corporate America as an advertising executive, that branding is what really gets to everybody. We never see ads about being patient, like I'm asking you to do from this book, or lending a hand or helping others. You don't see ads for that, but you see ads for Coca-Cola and Nike, and we all buy insurance from a lizard, but we don't use those same techniques of branding and marketing terms to to help us all have a way to be better citizens. So then I had the vision that we have 12 months of the year. And you know what? Each one of those months is about the time it takes to make a habit. Interesting. So that if we build sort of a cohesive, organic, month to month passage that each person can take, and we can take it all together at the same time, by branding each month of the year permanently, like we brand a time of the year with holidays. You know, we already do it. We have Black History Month. You know, we're already doing it. So why not do it about behaviors that make us better citizens? So that's what the story is, a little bit of it. Behind is much more, a little bit of it, and it's in the book, behind why the 12 Habits for Unity is ready to go out to Americans. Because let's say 1,000 people have the book by sometime next week. Okay, those 1,000 people are all over the country, and they're not anywhere touching each other, but they're starting to practice be patient and listen, because this is the month of October. So then,
Okay, Elaine, I have to stop you, but we'll bring you, we'll bring you back. So 12 months of habit changing towards unity with Parke, and make sure that you put the link in the chat, and we'll come right back to you
all right,
as soon as I finish the introductions. So Reg, tell us what you do, and thank you for your service. Reginald is an Army veteran who's been to Afghanistan and back safe and sound. So tell us about credit repair.
Good evening,
This is
everyone.
introduction time.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Reginald Lyerly. I'm a credit restoration referral agent. So I help families and I help individuals to improve their credit through education and tools and services. And that's pretty much the gist of what I do. Been doing it for some time. And the satisfaction that I get from it is that it helps others. And I see the impact that it helps with people every single day. So I thank you for the opportunity to be able to just share that with you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. And I have another, I'll come back to you. I have this book, author. First of all, Liza, I have to thank you for writing this book. We have quite a few people that have gone through abuse as a child or as a spouse, but it's nothing like this book. And I don't want to take the thunder away from this award-winning author that takes you back to World War II and talks about comfort ladies that were abused. I mean, this is an incredible story. So Eliza, please introduce us to your book and tell us a little bit about you. And this is just the introduction. We'll bring you back for a full story. And I want to do an interview with you as well. So please share. We can't hear you.
Colin, you can remove mute.
No, we can't hear you.
Okay. We don't have her unmute, do we?
Yes.
Hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job. Good job.
Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Lisa Gino. Well, it's actually Lisa because I have 3 first names: Maria, Anna, Lisa, Gino. So, but I go by Lisa. Anyway, I wrote this book. Thank you so much for the great introduction. I wrote this book called, the name is Imelda's Secret, and it's about the Filipina comfort women. And it's not just isolated to the Philippines, but this is happened to all the regions that the Japanese military had tried to be part of their
To occupy.
So we're talking about over 400,000 women that have been identified, and only 10% have survived. And you know, this is identified. So what about those that have gone unreported, or those who tried to keep it a secret, like my book is trying to talk about? And it's not, my book is not just about, it talks about the pre-war, the war, and then it jumps 40 years into the future, to the 1980s, because this is where women had started to advocate for each other, to support each other, to inspire and talk to everyone about their story. And in fact, by 1991, the first Korean comfort women came out. And then in 1992, the Filipina comfort women come out. But my book is not only about it's mainly about the Filipinas who's been, forced into sexual slavery. So the word comfort women is a euphemism that they're supposed to provide the service to comfort all of these Japanese soldiers. But my book, I want to inspire and empower women, even the women of today, that they should always advocate for each other and try to inspire to be great, to reach their full potential. So that's the plan. That's the
I think it's a must read, and we do several events that I think you'd be perfect as a speaker for. My next speaker is a very dear friend of mine, and we met when I first started doing events, and she actually coached me and mentored me. And so I'm so pleased to have Nicole Peel. And she is also, thank you, Nicole, for your service, an Army vet, an Army brat, and a proud one. She runs many groups with many veterans, and she is now making her own business with producing a product, which I think is amazing. So Nicole, tell us all about it, and we'd love to hear from you. We're just doing introductions right now, but we'll bring you back to do a presentation.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nicole Peel. I am from North Carolina, born and raised in Mount Olive, but once I retired from the Army, I am here in Houston, Texas. I have a bath and body company. I make handmade soaps, and actually I'm making soap now and have a soap class that I'm about to teach. So I'm gonna jump off, Elizabeth. I am so sorry, but I am, my company is called JP Luxe, Luxe, named after my mom. I started out making body butters, but now I make soap from scratch, body oils, beard wash. We have a whole men's line. I make handmade wet shave soap. So I am excited about this journey, kind of got thrown into it, but I am excited. I am so happy. Elizabeth, thank you. I'm humbled for you having me here. But again, JP Luxe is our company. We are a handmade bath and body company, and please visit us, jplux.bigcartel.com. And I'm excited to come back. I appreciate you inviting me in. I am so sad that I have to go, but I got my class that's waiting for me.
Well, just make sure you give us your information in the chat so people want to get the beautiful hand soaps. And she does men's shaving cream and all these fabulous things. So please make sure you put that in. And then we'll catch up, get you to do a presentation and maybe do a soap class. We'd love to learn.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Reginald, for your service. Thank you.
So we have in our audience a professional speaker, and Dia is a person who is really professional. She's written several books. She's had a little tea room, and she does real estate. So she's a multifaceted woman with some amazing children that are all qualified, which gives you full credit to be a mom who's got established children who are adults now. And so, Dia, tell us a little bit about yourself. This is the introduction phase. And if you stay, we'll let you speak more.
Thank you. What a privilege to be among such awesome people, so accomplished in your own right. And again, I also want to add thank you, Reginald, for your service. As a real estate agent with my real estate hat on, what is the difference between renting and owning? Well, just a quick tip, and from the 1990s, you could rent at about $400. That same place today rents for around $1,200. And when you buy your own home, you set the payment that is permanent for 15 to 30 years. So that's just a little tip. Also, if you're renting, your net worth is really little. But if you own your home, the average net worth of a homeowner in America is $254,000, which is nice. So that is my a real estate hat. I also, if you want to contact me as a speaker or some of my books that I've written, Dia at diairbi.com. Yes, diairbi.com is my website. I have a cookbook, which you can find out more about on my website. And I have on Amazon, I have devotional journals that you can find out about, and was a contributing author to this, Reginald, you might be interested, 9/11, that beautiful broken day. 17 authors from North Carolina wrote their stories about what they remember. And if you want to go to YouTube and watch my TED Talk, that'll be fun too. So that was longer than however many minutes I had. Thank you.
Talk about someone being so accomplished.
Right, very good.
Wow,
Very good.
Dia is just full of surprises. She comes up with everything. So then to my last introduction, then we'll go into our keynote. And by the way, Dia, Colonel Donna Ford is a survivor of 9/11 and the Pentagon. But we'll bring her in a few minutes, and she's going to do a fantastic presentation today about your business. And I will let her speak when it's her turn. But meanwhile, Jean Gardner does a fabulous product that I actually have used. It's a Arbonne product. It's a little higher than normal price point, but it is really something extraordinary. So Jean, introduce yourself and tell us about what you do.
Hi, Jean Gardner. I'm an independent consultant with Arbonne. I have been with the company about 13 years and started because I was looking for an eye cream because I had triple puffs underneath my eyes, and I was introduced to Arbonne that way. I was a teacher and loved teaching, had no desire to do anything else but teach. And then I thought it was polite to listen to the person who gave me the eye cream. So I listened to her spiel and realized that I was divorced at the age of 50 after 30 years of marriage. I lived paycheck to paycheck my entire life. I had 6 children at that time. And so I was like, maybe this could be a plan B for me, retirement. So that's how I got involved. I literally jumped in that day. My husband and I then studied the business plan and found it to be phenomenal. So I just jumped right in. So Arbonne serves people in different ways. You can improve your health. That is a major way. We have you can have an online business, and you can, make an extra car payment, or you could build a house with the money, or whatever. The sky's the limit. We have all levels of participation. Part of the community is what I love, and being, dreaming big and just changing lives. That's what's important to me. So I'm excited to share some things with you. Our founder, Peter Moore, started this company 41 years ago. And so he wanted 3 things. He wanted to empower women to become entrepreneurs or stay-at-home moms or whatever in between and make a good living. And of course, now we have men as well. And he wanted to make sure that Arbonne gave back to the community, which we do today through our charitable foundation, Flourish, which helps young adults in wellness, in the area of wellness. And then he wanted to make sure the products were pure, safe, and beneficial, which they still are today. So that's just a little bit about us.
Sounds fabulous. Make sure you put everything in the contacts, and then we'll stay on and we'll bring you back for a nice roundtable discussion. And if there's time, we'll see some of those products. And so, Melissa, we're going to have to wait and bring you back because we have to get to the keynote. And Prophetess Ebony will introduce herself later. So without further ado, I want to bring to you Colonel Donna Ford, who has fought in 3 wars, and she has survived the Pentagon during 9/11. The fact that she's here with us today, running her own business, talking to us, I think we have to give her a big hand because it's not easy to survive these things. And these are really tough moments. So thank you. And without further ado, we're here for you. She's our keynote and our sponsor. And you know, we cannot do anything without sponsors. So we are very, very grateful to her. So Colonel Donna, I'm going to bring up your slides.
Thanks, Claire. I always get kind of embarrassed when Claire introduces me because I feel like I just feel a little bit weird when she does that. But so I am Donna Four. I've known Claire and Elton for gosh, I think over 5 years now. I've known y'all for quite a while. And when Claire decided, yeah, it's been a while. Back in March, as soon as COVID